if I look over my marriage, if I were to judge it in year 5 or year 10, there was never 50-50. And so, yeah, there were times when I felt like I was 70% in and he was doing 30%, because of the choices that I made in the terms of how I wanted our family to look.
Yeah.
I had to take my foot off of my career gas pedal, never putting on the brake, but slowing up a little bit. Those are the natural compromises that are required. And I feel bad when I see young people giving up on their relationships
Mm.
because there are periods of hard. So I think it's important for us to be honest in those conversations, not to glamorize what a partnership feels like, because then young people quit too soon. If I look over my marriage, if I were to judge it in year 5 or year 10, there was never 50-50. And so
Talking about her issues during marriage. And my question for you today is, are you tough enough for the bad times during marriage? That is my question for you. And the reason that I asked that question, because it seems as if in 2022, most people are not ready for the bad times during their marriage. People don't know how to have conflict resolution. A lot of people haven't even talked to their partner or spouse before getting married to see if they're even on any type of psychiatric medication. A lot of people don't talk to each other about their past traumas, hurts, if they've been molested or beat on, if they have bad dating experiences. A lot of people are married to an image. What do I mean by that? A lot of people are married to the American dream image, the image that I get married, we go move into the house with the white picket fence. Excuse me. We have kids, we raise them up, and everything is hunky dory. But if you watch that video at the first beginning of this video, are you tough enough to go through those times? Are you okay with having a big argument that lasts for a month? Because it's love in there. A lot of people don't like to talk about that aspect of why sometimes you have a huge argument, why that argument seems like it's never ending, why it just seems like y'all can't have that breakthrough, why it seems like you can't get through his thick skull and he feels like he can't get through your thick skull. Y'all are missing each other, yet no one's understanding each other. A lot of people don't understand the reason that is sometimes is because there is love there. It's love there. I love you so much, and we've been doing it so long. How are we missing each other right now? We've been through this, and that, and all of a sudden, this one incident seems like we can't break through it. But I love you. I'm here for you. When I mean that is because sometimes those arguments that we have with each other, our emotions are making us that way. Our emotion is making us it hard for us to understand what the next person is trying to say. Sometimes we don't have enough maturity to understand what the person is saying. Emotional intelligence is a thing that most people seem to lack nowadays. When they make divorce so easy to get out of, and most people are opting out of divorce. A lot of people ain't gonna want to hear this, but sometimes the bad times in your relationship or marriage is cheating. And I know I hear the women, oh hell no, oh hell no, I ain't finna deal with nobody cheating on me. Whoop the whoop. Only to go divorce that man, to be with someone else, to cheat on them too. That's the thing. A lot of women are leaving bad situations to go get in bad situations. And why do I say women? Because when it comes to who files divorce, most of the time it's women. Men typically aren't trying to leave a woman he decided to marry. Men are logical enough to understand that, hey, I am marrying you for a long time, a permanent existence. It's no divorce. No matter what I'm going through with you, I'm not divorcing you. And we don't talk about something a lot. This one thing a lot. A lot of men get cheated on during their marriage. A lot of men, and they stay. The thing about those infidelities and why men stay is because men do not broadcast infidelities or major discrepancies in marriages the way women do, because women are social creatures. So if a man cheats on a woman, she's telling her friend, her mama, the people at work, the homegirl that listen to it, because she's hurt and she's looking for an outlet. And so, since women are social creatures, she's taking in all of these external forces telling her, girl, I wouldn't take that. But you don't know the girl telling you she wouldn't take that, getting her eye black and getting kicked in the stomach when she was pregnant. She didn't tell you that, though. See, this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people are taking advice from people who are dealing with, if not the same thing, way more than you when it comes to dating. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to up and leave just because I'm having a bad time, as if you're going to leave and have a better time with someone else. The saying is, everywhere you go, there you are. So no matter where you go, if you go leave one relationship to go to another relationship, there you go again. It may be some issues in your relationship that you have not solved yet, that you have not worked out yet, that you need to figure out. But a lot of people feel like pointing fingers, playing the blame game is the best thing to do when it comes to relationships. Now, it's people, and like I said, we've been wired, indoctrinated, and been pushed to live a lifestyle of marriage, monogamy, and kids, and we really don't have to have that. Some people aren't real enough before marriage to say, hey, I know I can't be monogamous. And telling a woman or a man, I can't be monogamous, and letting that man or woman decide for themselves. A lot of people aren't brave enough to go through the judgment of someone that they really, really, really love, to tell them, hey, I know I can't be monogamous, but I love you. So people lie and say, yeah, I could be monogamous, and try not to get caught and be sneaky and do all this underhanded shit to cover up their tracks, because they've been sold a dream and think that this dream has to look like this, because oh well, my great grandma was married, and my grandma was married, and my great grandma was married, my aunties married, and everybody around me are married, and they doing it like this, and it looks so beautiful and whoop de whoop. But you don't understand what these people are going through in their marriage. A lot of people are looking from the outside in, and nobody wants to talk about actual things and problems that go on within the marriage. You have to be tough. You have to be strong mind. You have to be strong willed, because marriage is not the easiest path in life to deal with, but it can be very rewarding. I'm going to say it again. Marriage is not the easiest path in life, but it can be very, very rewarding. I'm married. I think I have a particularly good marriage. And now I always say this, only time will tell. I plan on being with this woman forever. But who knows? I don't plan on getting divorced. I don't see a need to do that. But I also know that if I go through something bad while I'm married, I don't plan on broadcasting it to the world to take on these external influences to dictate or persuade how I move. And that's the issue I think we having, is that we're living our lives through social media, through the glitz and the glamour, and everybody trying to act like they got it well put together. Most people aren't well put together to when it comes to themselves. I'm gonna say that again. Most people are not well put together when it comes to themselves. if I go through something bad while I'm so with that type of understanding, are you tough enough to deal with the bad times during marriage? Most people aren't. Most people don't care. Most people, a lot of people think the grass is green on the other side. Some people see it's green over there and find out it ain't even real. It's astroturf over there. Some people get over there and find out that it's motherfucking astroturf over there. No wonder why your shit green. It's fake as fuck over here. And now I gotta deal with this shit. I can't grow no fruit trees over in this bitch. Can't nobody do nothing over here but play some motherfucking football. We can't sustain ourselves long term with this shit. Nothing. Greg Big said, first time here, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the show. But yes, like I was saying, marriage is a road that should be less traveled. I want to say this again. Marriage is a road that should be less traveled. We have too many people trying to get married. We have too many people forcing marriage. We have too many people, like I said, trying to live the quote unquote American dream. We have too many people trying to live through their parents. That was a different time. You got to understand when it comes to technology, just think about how fast we went from having a cell phone to not having to use computers anymore. Literally into a 20-year time span, a 20-year time span, we went from having the big ass computers on our desk to being able to have a computer in in your hand. Tamika said marriage is so deep, a lot of people can't comprehend. Oh, I know it's deep. I don't, and you're right. A lot of people don't understand how deep it is. Marriage is so deep that I think like 40% of men commit suicide. 40% of people commit suicide, men commit suicide after marriage. Something like that. Y'all can fact check me. That's how deep marriage is. And I'm gonna say this, and it might be controversial, but like I tell people, men love way harder than women. But I think a lot of times what love looks like is the issue when it comes to men and women. Thank you, Tamika, for sending me 50 stars. I ain't never got no stars, so you the first person to send me some stars. I really appreciate that. I don't even know how to. What do I do with a star though? I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm so excited right now. Yeah, but like I said, marriage is very, very deep, and I do think that is a spiritual connection that you have with a person. So much so, like I said, a lot of people can't even live after that breakup or that divorce. Why you gotta pick a picture of Chucky on your page, on your picture, your profile pic? I just noticed that. Yeah, I just know that. Noticed that. But yeah, but like I was saying, are you strong enough to go through the tough times? The tough times could be illnesses. Hell, the tough times could literally be your girl driving to work one day and get into a wreck and her pussy fall off. Like that could be a thing. Your girl could drive to work, literally drive to work and her get into a wreck and her pussy fall off. And y'all be like, what do you mean? Well, not literally. Literally her pussy falls off, but she could get into a wreck where she's paralyzed and she can't have sex anymore. Y'all remember, I think it was Why Did I Get Married? Y'all remember that part of the biggest issue of Janet Jackson and her husband was the kid dying, and they were blaming each other and then blaming themselves for their child dying. Infidelity is always a no-brainer. We always say, okay, infidelity. We always say money. We always say those type of things. Those type of things we know. Infidelity and money. But it's so many other things that go into what your struggles can be. What your struggles can be when it comes to marriage. One of the questions I would ask somebody if I was dating, ladies, if you're dating a guy, you should ask him after y'all dated for a while, if my pussy just disappeared, what qualities do you think I possess to make you happy or to continue this relationship going forward? What qualities do I possess if my pussy just magically disappeared one day? Do I possess that could keep this relationship going, that would keep you happy, or that would keep you here forever? Ladies, you should ask yourself, what do I possess outside of my vagina that makes this nigga interested in me? Because I'm going to say something that's very controversial. Most men do not deal with women, would not deal with women if it were not for sex being on the table. That is a true statement. Take it how you want to, whatever. You got a male best friend. He ain't never try to have sex. He just orbiting till you give him a chance to land. But I know y'all gonna say, men and women can be friends. The only way men and women can really be friends is they're not sexually attracted to each other. That's the only way. So you had to ask yourself, am I willing to go through cancer with this person? Am I willing to go through a freak accident? Am I willing to go through a death of a child? Am I willing to go through a hard pregnancy? That was so far in my marriage that we had an issue where my child was in the hospital for like 3 months. That was very, very, very difficult between me and my wife. I think that was one of our biggest arguments is when my child was in the hospital. And we both have great ideals. We both thinking we're doing what's best, and we're both clashing in this moment of high tension, stress, things are out of whack in our relationship because we're both focused on this child. We have an older child that still needs love and attention, and we're we're now butting heads over a major decision going forward with our child, and we're having one of the biggest arguments, probably the biggest arguments we ever had. The biggest. But like I say, you'll get on social media, and Erica Mena and a Safari, when they first get together, make it look all glitz and glamour, and now after they break up in a divorce, she looked like a crackhead. That's what y'all don't understand. It'll be people who make it look like glitz and glamour, and then when they get a divorce, and now they look like crackheads. Why is that? Because nobody's being real, and that's why I said on this podcast I would like to do a lot of interviews with married couples. Let's have a real conversation, because I feel only 10% of people in the world should get married, and 10% is pushing it. Only 10% in other people in the world should get married. Only 5%, only 5 should have kids. I'm gonna say it again. Only 10% of people in the world should get married. Only 5% of those people should have kids. Because we know people aren't responsible. People don't understand that kids do not bring relationships together. Kids do not bring relationships together whatsoever. Yes, sir. Greg said, yes, sir. Marriage is, and the stresses that come with it isn't for everyone. Oh, Greg, the stars is someone sent me some stars on Facebook. That's what the stars are. They sent me some stars on Facebook. And I ain't this my first time getting stars, so I was excited. So and I don't know how to use stars. I got 50 of them. She sent me 50. And thank you, Tamika, once again. I'm always appreciative of people tuning in and supporting me. And I guess that support, well, it don't matter. I take the likes too. But supporting me in my endeavors and things that I'm trying to do and build. But like I was saying, and marriage, it takes more than love too. It takes way more than love. Love and sex is your initial attraction. A love and sex probably lasts, maybe you probably get a good 2 years out of love and sex when it comes to a long-term relationship or marriage. 2 years. You might get 2 good years when it comes to love and marriage. I mean love and sex out of marriage. It has to be a lot of talking, a lot of conversations. It has to be a lot of I was on a date with a couple. I'm gonna say this. I ain't gonna say no names, but I was on a date with a couple, and it's crazy that I can. But I'm good at this. Don't want to hold this against this guy, but I'm very good at reading people body language. So this fella said something. The girl was obviously moved by what he said, but he did not pick up on she was, perturbed at the time. So what I'm saying is a lot of people don't even take the time to learn the person that they're dating's body language, their silent cues that they give you. For instance, I know when my wife is feeling happy or sad or she has it's stressful by how hard she walks. Some days she walks very light, and some days if she's walking, it feels like she's stumping through the house. She might be very, very stressed at this moment. Those are things that I pick up on or watch. Or like if I'm looking at her and I see like that knot on the back of the neck and it's getting bigger. Or if I see or maybe her face isn't as clear or something like that. Those are things that you have to pick up on and you have to watch when you're dating and talking to someone. Talking about in the context of marriage. Nobody wants to talk about these type of things. Nobody wants to talk about those little pet peeves that like, hey, I don't like that nail color. Like sometimes you have to say, hey, baby, you keep getting this nail color and you've got it like 6 times. I'm guessing it's your favorite color. And you might feel like, that little color is not a big deal. But sometimes small things can become big issues when it comes to a marriage. So sometimes you have to address things when you have them initially. And sometimes people don't understand this aspect of it. Some things are so small that we just let go, we let go, and we let go. And then we let them go on so long when we address them, the person isn't receptive to me addressing something that I let go on so long because they're feeling like, hey, why didn't you address this 2 years ago? Why are you bringing it up now? I've been doing this 2 years and you've been letting me do something that you don't like. And I'm supposed to be your man or your woman or husband and wife. And you've been letting me do something you don't like for 2 years, holding it in against me, judging me every time I do said thing for you to just bring this out 2 years later. Did you hear what I say? Some people think some things are so small that they don't address it when it comes out. So when they do address it 2 years later, the person isn't receptive to the issue that you have because you've been letting them do something for 2 years. And now they feel like you've been holding a grudge or holding something against them to bring it up at a later date or when you have an argument. I know when to hold in my annoyances from my face in public when I'm with my wife. Takes practice, guys. I ain't gonna lie. That's probably something that I'm not good at. I'm not good at facial expression. It ain't gotta be with my wife. It could be a way to piss me off or something. And I'm looking like, bro, I'm mad. Like I'm just look, I just that's part I haven't got yet. But I guess I'm gonna have to work on it, trying to build something and people being able to come in and say stuff to know that I'm not moved or shaken by it. But like Erica Badu say, this is my shit. I take my shit personal. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people need to take marriage and the babies and the families and the people they congregate with, come together with, intermingle with, have kids with, try to do life with. Those things should be taken very personal because after you do something so fucked up to somebody and you put them back out there in the world, you just wreaking more havoc. See, the thing is, we like to think that a lot of stuff that we do will only affect us and maybe the person that we're dating. But you don't understand as a man that if you cheat on this woman, she may not be good for any guy she dates, and she might wreak terror on all of these other men afterwards. Same thing with a woman. That's why honesty is the best key. It takes brave people to actually date. It takes very, very, very brave people to actually date. People who aren't scared, people who are not scared to tell the truth. And the reason that I say that is because we don't like to be judged. And that's why we in this culture of no judging. Nobody wants to be judged. We've taken shame out of things that were shameful. Divorce, when I was growing up, divorce was very shameful. Yeah, divorce was so shameful. I remember people when they would get divorced, they would actually leave like churches or like communities that they were in to start a new life somewhere else because it was shameful to be divorced. Now we have people like Tia Morrow, I think that's the name, on TV shows saying that her divorce was a graduation. How do you graduate from something that's supposed to be lifelong? That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. How do you graduate from something that's supposed to be lifelong? Which is some wild shit, to say the least. So, like I said, you have to be diligent. You have to do your homework. You have to study your partner. And my daddy used to say this: if you think you learned a woman, that's where you messed up. If you think know a woman, that's where you messed up. Because we are all ever changing, but especially a woman. As a man, I don't try to figure this shit out or none of that when it comes to being married. I just go with the flow most of the time. I agree. That is nonsense about graduating from marriage. But she got on TV and she said that she graduated from marriage. Said some random motherfucker just sent her a letter and it says something about graduating. How do you graduate from something that's supposed to be lifelong? Then you had Super Scent. If y'all don't know who that is, that's the girl I think she got famous from the makeup line. In the car, she was upset with her boyfriend because he's a club promoter, and one of the ladies that worked for him, he took her home, and the reason that he took her home because she was drunk. And in the video, you can clearly see that she was upset. Uh, she was upset about him taking her home. And the thing is, when I tell you about when you're done with somebody, you have to put them back out there in the real world for them to date again. she's a woman that has been with other men who have dated on her, and she's talked about this extensively, that other men she's dated cheated on her and done her wrong, and I think beat on her and all this other type of stuff. So it's like you're causing an issue in y'all relationship because uh, you're causing an issue in y'all relationship because these are sore spots for her when it comes to dating and comes to marriage. And another thing is when a woman is the breadwinner, like a lot of the breadwinners, she can control and dictate. Um, she can control and dictate how the relationship goes. Now the thing is, I feel like lifestyle is an issue. And what I mean by lifestyle, when I say lifestyle, is a woman can have more money than you, but if you can't have it where you're still supporting her lifestyle, then that's going to be an issue. Like we could look at like a Tom Brady and a Giselle. They got divorced simply because she wanted him to come home and stop playing football. That was the issue. And who she ended up being with was the damn karate instructor or whatever the fuck he supposed to do. Like, how do you? That's the weirdest thing. Y'all remember? I don't know if y'all know this, but did y'all see that part when Larsa Pippins was saying that she was upset? It was hard for her to date men after Scottie Pippen. And I'm like, what type of man comes after a Scottie Pippen? This is how you're a 50-year-old woman thinking you're going to level up. And I tell people this level up culture is fucking a lot of people up because so many people think I can do better. If you could do better, but none of your dating choices or things you have done in the past show that you can actually level up. We got 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old men and women talk about fucking leveling up. Baby, this shit over with now. You have a type. You have a man or woman that you like. You like these fuck niggas. You like these niggas that cheat on you. You like these niggas that beat on you. Same with the men. You like the women that run around on you. You like the women that sneak around on you and then 5 years later pop out with a DNA test and tell you that these ain't your kids. Y'all have a type after so long, it ain't no leveling up. Now, don't get me wrong. You have people that fall for it. Sometimes you have people that fall for it, yes. When we talk about leveling up, nah, my nigga. And Larsa Pippins is 50 years old talking about she can't find a man to replace a Scottie Pippen because we all know women don't want to date down and men don't want to date down when it comes to sex. The most heartbreaking thing for a man is when I meet a woman and she get at 5 sloppy toppy and now I gotta go to a woman that don't know how to, please me as good. Chances of leveling up after 45 is very slim. Very slim. We're talking about a very, very small percentage. But the thing is, men aren't the ones at 45 trying to level up. I'm gonna say this again. Men aren't the ones at 45 trying to level up. It's the women who get that old, have all of these kids, and then say, "Oh, I'm gonna level up. I'm gonna get me this certain type of man, and we're gonna be able to travel the world, and I'm gonna get married. We're gonna live in this mansion." The most craziest, outlandish things you can think of. That's what women are saying, and that's why women are leaving marriages because we are in a level up culture to where women are basically playing themselves. But the thing is, you just have to wait. because all this shit gonna come out in the wash. All of it. Every last thing, everything's gonna come out because the thing is, the way America is going right now, the way America is going right now, it's some hard times approaching, and women aren't gonna want to be out there by themselves. It's gonna be hard times approaching, and women are not going to want to be out there by themselves. If you on Facebook, y'all make sure y'all like the page and share it. If you on YouTube, y'all make sure y'all share the video, and share the video. Make sure y'all subscribe and like and comment. If y'all have topics y'all want us to discuss on the New Normal podcast, let us know. I say subscribe, and subscribe. Like I was saying, it takes a special type of man and woman to actually make a marriage work. And to be honest, this is controversial to say I know, but relationships and marriage ain't as hard as people make them out to be. Relationships and marriage aren't as hard as people like to make them out to be. The reason they are hard is because most of us are in relationships with people who are not sane. Y'all think I'm fucking playing. A lot of y'all are in relationships with crazy ass people, clinically crazy, or if they not clinically crazy or have not, they just have not been diagnosed with. Hey, Greg, I seen that today. Hey, that shit was funny. He walked out. It's like, bruh, Ye problem, real shit is he emotional as fuck, bruh. He just emotional person, and he's a person that doesn't like he in the hot seat when he's being questioned. And that's how a lot of people are when they come to relationships is they don't want to be questioned. Why did you do this? Why did you think this way? What made you think this way? Like that is a true statement. Like he doesn't want to be questioned. And that's what Tim Cass said. Like, you're not just finna get on my show and just think you can talk and say whatever you want to say, and I'm supposed to be okay with it without give you some type of pushback. But on the flip side of that was when he was giving him when he was telling him, it's kind of hard for you to say that I'm just a blanket statement that Jews doing this to me. When in fact, if I can tell you, hey, this company is ran by this person and they froze my bank account. This person is ran by this company and they did this to me. Adidas is ran by this person and they did this to me. If everybody is part of that community, I can simply say, hey, the Jews have done this to me. I should be able to say that. You want me to go and individually pick out every person by name? That would be crazy to do. So, like I said, it's a weird thing. Him walking out, I just don't think he want to be questioned. Also, like they were saying, could be a publicity stunt because now when I get on YouTube, that's all I see is Ye walks out of Tim Cass podcast. That's all I see when I get on YouTube now. I seen Adam 22 and Destiny doing a reaction to it. But y'all, it's getting late, and I was trying to get on here a little earlier because it was supposed to storm and stuff. So I was just trying to get on here before it stormed and shit. But I'm gonna say, like I said, when it comes to relationships, they aren't as hard as people like to make them. They aren't. They're actually pretty easy. The only thing about good relationships, and most people can attest to, if you have a good relationship, they typically are boring. You ain't come walking in the house and a bitch throwing a vase at you. You ain't worried about, your a bitch calling your phone saying her man was at your house last night. You ain't Man ain't your husband ain't just not show up to work one day, or his check was short because he been out of town for 3 days, or you know, you're shaking in your boots because you worried about a DNA test coming back, or no, it's nothing like that. It's not that type of exciting. It's dealing with your family, going to work, competitive lifestyle. This shit is fucking boring. I need some excitement. So when it comes to relationships, especially marriages, we talk about marriages, you have to find some type of excitement. And I'm a person that gets bored very, very quick. And that's my downfall when it comes to me dating people. I get bored very fast. Um, and I know that's always gonna be my issue is my boredom, my attentiveness, and all of that. Thanks, sir. Thanks for the screen. Looking forward to more. Nah, thank you for being an adult because I had a stream earlier and people being assholes on that other screen. So thank you for being an adult. I want this to be a place where we can all talk and have good conversations and meaningful conversations, and everybody can um, let out their thoughts and say what's needed to be said. Challenge my thoughts if you think I'm wrong. But like I said, it's getting late, and I promise I was only gonna be on here 30 minutes, and my wife been getting on me about podcasting too much lately, and it's been 41 minutes. So it's the new normal podcast. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, and subscribe. Um, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, make sure you like the page and follow the page. If not, we're gonna have to do you like this and get you out of there. But it's a new normal podcast, and we gone.